Okay, I thought I'd come on here and like vent a little bit about something that's really going on in my life right now, something that I'm currently experiencing that's just like really heavy and overwhelming for me. So basically, like the last video I made, I was like explaining how I struggle when it comes to like dating and like going on dates with people because of past experiences, and basically I'm going through like the same thing. So like here's this person that I'm talking to, right? And I don't really know them that well. It's pretty surface level. How we haven't really talked as much. So I went and grabbed their Instagram. I snatched their Instagram. And I don't know how to start this, but I guess I'll just start. So I got their Instagram. I went up to them, impulsively asked them for their Instagram, and they gave it to me. We've been talking a little bit. So the thing that I'm struggling with is that whenever I get in connections, I usually end up in past experiences. I have like super bad like OCD and anxiety and paranoia when it comes to like talking to other people. Because I guess I just get into this mindset of like trying to make them like me, trying to make them notice me, trying to like convince them to like me, but so I get into a connection and we start chatting and stuff, and I feel like I always end up being the one who kind of like, I feel like I pull more, or like I give more than the other person gives, and I'll try to make more of an effort to communicate, and I'll try to make more of an effort to get the person to open up, and it just always feels very short, one-ended, and I always end up feeling like on the short end of things, and so I've really had a lot of connections like that where like I feel like I'm the one putting more effort in and they're not putting as much effort in, and it sucks and it's not ideal, and it just always leaves me feeling I got the shitty end of things, where like it makes me feel like I'm more interested in this person than they're interested in me. And I guess I maybe just attract a lot of people in my life who are introverts. I don't know, but it's a struggle because it's hard to talk about because I don't like being vulnerable right now. But I guess I feel like I need to talk about this just because like it's gonna be so good for me. And it might help somebody else out there who might also be going through the same thing. And I also just want to kind of get to the bottom of this and figure out what to do. So, I need agua. But, okay, so basically, I need water, hold on. So yeah, I guess I meet these people and they don't have like the best communication skills, and it's a struggle for me in the end because I feel like I feel like when people don't communicate with me the best, who I really want to get to know, like it's like they almost like I try to like carry the weight of like them and me of the communication in the conversation, and so like it's a lot of pressure on me because I feel like I'm the one like who has to like orchestrate the fucking conversation, and I'm the one who has to make all the moves, and like I'm the one who has to do everything, and it's a struggle because like I don't want that, I want to be in a connection with somebody who like I feel like wants to talk with me, and I want to be in a connection with somebody who has good communication skills and with people who give as much as I give, and so like they're, communicating into the conversation as well, and so it's a lot, but it's like usually what happens is just, I used to get to the point in past connections where like I'd have people in my life who were like this, and instead of withdrawing and instead of, like cutting it off and just being like, this just simply isn't for me, like I'm just gonna let it go, like this person just is not the one, I would do the opposite, and I would hold on even tighter and try to make this person talk to me and communicate with me even more. Like I would almost like, it almost always felt like they were breadcrumbing me, and I would like follow the crumbs like a fucking mouse, you know? And so it was a struggle because like it just always made me feel extremely like clingy, and it made me feel like I was annoying, and it made me feel like I was like pulling at this person, constantly pulling at them, you know? And so, I had this conversation with my friend today. I was talking about this, like I was just venting to my friend about this, and they were saying, you can't force these kinds of things, and you haven't given yourself enough time to even get to know this person. We've only been talking for like 2 days, you know? And so I haven't given myself enough time to even get to know them, and I might just have to do a little bit more digging. The thing is that like I don't want to be, I have to do a little bit more digging. I have to, just maybe just try to get to know them a little bit more, because maybe they have a guard up, or maybe, thing with me is that I want to be in a connection with somebody who like is at the point where like they don't have to have that guard up, because I guess in a lot of ways I have that guard up as well, but it's just a struggle because like I don't want to fall back into the cycle again of that I did in the past, where like I tried literally so hard to make people communicate with me who just like it didn't work out. And I realized I find that like the connections that don't usually make a lot like that last very well in my life, and that just typically don't tend to flourish, are the ones that lack communication. And so it's just a struggle because this person that I'm talking to, like I like them. Well, I've never hung out with them, but like I like them. They seem nice, and they, definitely seem very withdrawn. And so I don't know if I should even waste my time like trying to get to know this person. It feels like I'm wasting my time, and that's why I feel so guilty and like ashamed of myself for like sticking around, because I don't want to do to myself what I did in the past. I don't want to hold on so long to the point where like I become attached to this person, or I become clingy, or I feel like I'm the only one putting effort, which then leads to me feeling just like super angry and jealous and envious and self-conscious and insecure, and it leaves me with all these nasty feelings, and I feel so ugly about myself, and it just doesn't make me feel very great about myself. It doesn't make me feel confident in this connection, or confident with with communicating with this person. I feel like any new connection needs good communication, and that's just something that this connection that I'm in with this person lacks, and I get that like it's literally only been 2 days, so that's why I'm trying to give myself the benefit of the benefit of the doubt, as well as them, because like I know that like communication doesn't come easy to a lot of people, not even me. Like I struggle with communication too. Like I struggle because like I don't want to overgive, because like I've been the only one kind of pushing the gun on this connection, and I've been the only one kind of like making a move to contact them and asking questions and trying to get to know them, and so they don't really do that back, so it makes me withdraw, and it makes me like take a step back, and it makes me reflect, and I'm like, is this someone that I actually want to have in my life if they don't have great communication skills? Because I just know that like in past connections where this happened, I never felt good. Like I always felt so shitty about myself. And so like I really don't want to go through that again. I just don't want to have to experience those feelings. Like I'm already experiencing them a lot, and I guess it might be a little bit of like jealousy and a little bit of envy, because what ends up happening is that I kind of, it reflects poorly on me, and I'm just like, okay, what is it about me that makes this person not want to communicate with me? What is it about me that makes this person not want to talk to me? And so then I'm going through a mental checklist of all the things that like are wrong with me, and with all the things that I could change about myself. So then I'll like try to make an attempt to like change those things about myself, and then try to communicate with them again, and then they still don't really put an effort to talk to me, and it's just like this vicious cycle of like me feeling like I'm giving too much, and then I pull away because they're not giving enough. So then I'll like honestly kind of like charge myself up and like vamp myself up with like questions and trying so hard to get to the know me and trying to just like remind them of my existence. You know, I think that's what I struggle with a lot, is that when people don't validate my existence, and when they, because it's very invalidating, you know, to be in a connection with somebody who's not giving as much effort as you, who's not, you know, who's not communicating with you as much, because it leaves you feeling like short-ended without, you know, it makes you feel kind of like shitty about yourself, because you're like, is it me, or is it just awkward, you know? So like I'm at the point where like I just can't tell if like this is gonna be worth it, you know. I don't know if like this is gonna be worth my energy and my time to like, you know, be in a connection with somebody who doesn't really seem to communicate as much. So I'm just left right now feeling stressed and anxious and overwhelmed and feeling kind of bad about myself and feeling sad and overwhelmed and worried because I don't know if I should communicate with this person or ask them questions. Like, we texted a bit today. I insinuated the conversation. They kind of just went along with it, and then the conversation ended, you know? So then usually what happens is, you know, I'll insinuate the conversation. Well, you know, they'll reply, you know, it'll go back and forth a little bit, and then it'll just die off. And then I'll go back, I'll communicate with them, they'll give me a little bit, and then it'll die off. And then it's just that same cycle. And if it's like that all the fucking time, like, it just comes to a point where I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. If I'm gonna be the only one talking and communicating, like, I'm not gonna waste my time. Like, I'm just gonna give up, you know? And so it's like, I'm not one to give up though, you know? I'm an Aries and I don't give up. And that's like one of my, I guess, faults. It comes to a point where like it's good not to give up. Like, it comes to like a fault where like I never give up and I always keep pushing and pushing and pushing until it works, you know? I don't know how to like kind of accept no for an answer sometimes when it comes to like or connections not working out, you know, because sometimes you meet people and you just don't vibe, you know, the vibe is not there. And so I guess, you know, I don't want to have to be I don't want to have to be in an awkward situation, you know. And I wish I had somebody that I could talk to this about, who could like give me some actual advice, because it's just like a big struggle, you know. Because I genuinely don't know what to do right now. I feel like I could contact them, but then they would probably take hours to respond, and then they'd communicate with me a little bit, and then it would die off. And I guess these feelings are just super uncomfortable to sit with, this uncertainty. And one thing here that I've definitely been noticing is that maybe I feel the need to be in constant communication with them, because I'm scared that if we're not constantly communicating with each other, then we're not gonna like each other, you know. And so I'm sitting and I'm reflecting, and I'm like, what is the driving force behind me always feeling like I have to communicate with them, I have to be talking with them constantly, I have to be in constant communication with them? What is behind that, you know? What's the driving force behind that, you know? And so deep down I feel like it might just be because, you know, I'm scared that like the thing that's going on is like I'm comparing myself to like other people in my life who have connections with people, and they talk to each other frequently, and they're constantly getting to know each other, and it's a constant thing, a continuous thing. And 14:14 on the clock. So yeah, they're in constant communication, and that's something that's very prevalent, you know. They're always communicating with the person that they're dating. It's a constant kind of thing, you know. And so I guess I get really scared that if I'm not constantly trying to make the connection work, that there's gonna be like empty space. Like I feel like we have to like be talking. The belief behind this is like, okay, I feel like we need to be talking all the time, and we need to be getting to know each other, because that's what you do when you meet somebody. You get to know each other and see if you guys are compatible or not, you know? And you know, you have to just wait it out, and you talk and you start conversations, and that's just kind of how it works. You know, you just simply communicate, and you talk and get to know each other. Then that you know, that kind of like that initial anxiety and like that kind of border, or no, that's not the right word. Also, just that's a trigger word for me because I don't even want to talk. No, that it's just a trigger word for me because Donald Trump's a fucking idiot, and I fucking hate him so much, and he is so prevalent on the border. But that's a whole different conversation. But I feel like I'm being drawn to talk about this. But basically, when it comes to, I guess I'm just gonna talk about this now because I feel like I might find something in here. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to Donald Trump, I feel really sad that this horrible man who's done like horrible things is, you know, gonna be like leading me. And it's just, when it comes to like the border, it's just really sad that he's like, you know, pushing out people, and he's so fucking like determined to like separate people. You know, he's so determined to like make things exactly how they were in the past. You know, he's so determined to make this a man leading world where women are in the back seats, on the back burners, and our fucking rights and our, you know, everything about us is just stripped from us. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous, you know, how, you know, because it's just like he's like trying to make shit exactly how it was in the past. You know, he's trying to separate the worlds, make it into where, you know, men have all the fucking power, women are just, you know, fucking property, and they're, you know, women are just fucking things to be like objects, you know, like you know, and we have no power over our life, no control over our own fucking bodies. And he wants to fucking control us, you know, he wants to be a fucking dictator, and I fucking hate him, and he's just fucking stupid, and I fucking hope he dies. Like, I'd never say that about people, but I literally fucking hate him, and I hope somebody fucking shoots him, because that man is a fucking dumbass, and he doesn't deserve to fucking be alive. Like, he's a fucking idiot. And so I just don't understand how people could fucking support him, especially women. Like, the women who support him are fucking stupid idiots, because like they're voting to be basically taken, like they're voting to have a man run them who fucking who doesn't even like them, like who wants them to suffer and who wants them to have no power, you know? And so I don't fucking understand why these fucking stupid idiot people are voting for a man who's just so fucking dumb and only cares about fucking weapons and separating people, and his driving force is like fucking pure evil, and he, you know, he just doesn't have good intentions, and he's just a fucking nasty, dirty man. Like, I don't like him, and I fucking ew, he's just gross. And so yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really know what's behind, like, I don't know. I kind of just like, I feel like it's a fear tactic that comes up when I'm like meeting people. I kind of like, I almost try to like remind them of my existence, you know, because I feel like growing up, people kind of ignored my existence, you know, people did, especially my parents, you know, my mom, they would kind of like do anything they could to kind of make me feel small and make me feel like I didn't exist, you know, make me feel like my opinions and my wants and my needs and my desires just weren't important, you know. And it just, you know, it that's super invalidating to have to experience as a child, because the more that I grew up, and like it's kind of like people kind of like tried to make me disappear, you know, with their actions, with their words, with their, you know, just with their whole energy, they'd kind of try to make me disappear. You know, they'd kind of make me they'd make me small, and they'd make me kind of made me feel like I didn't exist, you know? And so then I would try super hard to make them notice me, because I felt as if I had to fucking, you know, I felt as if I had to, Demonstrate's so cute. But I felt as if I had to, you know, when these people ignored me, and when these people didn't put an effort to get to know me, and when they fucking like just basically shat on me and like made me feel like a fucking horrible person and made me small and basically said fuck you to my existence, you know, it made me feel like I had to be even bigger and even brighter, and it made me feel like I had to prove myself, and it made me feel like I had to fight even harder to make these people notice me, and I had to fight even harder to like get these people to accept me. You know, I got into a point where even in my childhood, especially throughout my childhood, I thought I had to work super fucking hard and try super hard. I'm so thirsty, oh my god, but I don't want to get up. I'm so comfy right now, I'm not getting up. But yeah, I felt like I had to overextend myself and push so hard to make people like me, and push so hard to make people like accept me, and I had to work so hard to get the littlest amount of love, you know, like, and that's just the dynamic that I grew up in. I literally had to work fucking hard, and I had to bend over backwards to make people happy, to make sure that, you know, to ensure that they like me. I did everything I could to make people like me, and yet it never still was enough. And so like I guess I get really scared that like they're not gonna like me if I'm not constantly trying to get them, like giving them reasons to like me, and you know, getting, you know, just getting them to like me. I feel like I do this because I just want them to notice me, I guess, and I try so hard to like make people like notice me, because I feel like I have to like remind people of my existence, because I'm scared if I don't remind them of my existence, then I'm gonna fade away, and then they're not gonna notice me, you know? And so I feel like I need to make an effort to like make them notice me. But then it comes to a point where like it's coming from a place of like desperation, you know, and it's not coming from a place of like fun. It's not fun, you know? And you know, when you fucking force a connection, it's gonna be shit, you know? It's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be, you know. And so I definitely know that like a lot of this is self-created. It's self-sabotage, but this self-sabotage is just coming from a place of like sadness and pain, you know, because I feel like I have to convince them of my experience, you know, my fucking existence, and I have to remind them that I'm here. But like they know I'm here, you know, they know where I'm at, they know who I am, you know. And so I guess what I feel like I shouldn't do is try so hard to make them connect with me. And I definitely feel like yes, I should contact them, and yes, I should talk with them, but it shouldn't the driving force and the motivation behind texting them should not be desperation. It shouldn't be I need to text this person so they don't, you know, disappear, or so literally 333. And so I you know, I gotta text this person, I gotta communicate with them, I gotta do all of the shit to like make them notice me, and to make them, you know, see me before they disappear. That's desperation. And it's not, you know, it's fear, and it's anxiety, and it's desperation. And if anything, if any action in life comes from that place, it's just not a good place to be, and it's not a good place to experience life, and it's not a good place to, you know, be in regards of connection building, you know, because then the only thing that's going to lead to is, you know, a whole lot of fucking guilt and a whole lot of shame. And you know, desperation equals desperation, you know, so if I put out desperation, I'm gonna receive desperation back. And so like I definitely feel like, you know, I shouldn't cut this person off, because this is a learning experience, you know, it's teaching me something about myself, you know, it's a learning experience. And I feel like I shouldn't run away from these feelings, And I shouldn't run away from this person either, but I definitely shouldn't contact them from a place of desperation. Like, definitely I should contact them. I should talk to them when it feels like it's coming from the heart, and when it feels like it's natural and it's not forced, you know? From a place where, like, I'm like, okay, like, I want to talk to this person because I genuinely want to find joy from this. Not, I need to text this person or they're going to leave me or it's not going to work out. Because the truth is that I know it's, like, super hard to fucking accept, but it just gets to a point where, like, I've never been in a relationship, and I always see these people dating and stuff, and so, like, it comes to a point where, like, growing up especially, like, I'd see all these people. One sec. I need water so bad, but I'm not getting up. I refuse. Like, I'm like, the hand on in my armpit right now, it's so comfy. I just can't move. But yeah, it got to a point in my childhood where, like, I'd see all these people in connections and relationships, and it always made me feel, you know, super bad about myself, and it made me feel like something was wrong with me, and it made me feel FOMO. It gave me bad FOMO, and it made me feel like less than, and it made me feel like I was lacking something. So then I would try so fucking hard to get into a connection, but it's just like, it gets to a point where, like, I hate waiting, you know? I've been waiting almost my entire fucking life for this, you know? And so, like, I'm sick of kind of just waiting, you know, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, you know? Sitting in the waiting room is so fucking uncomfortable, and it's so annoying because I've been here for so long. And so, like, I guess whenever somebody comes into my life who I slightly like, or even who I really like, I'll try so hard to make it work because I'm just so desperate to, like, be in a connection and, like, experience what that's like, because I've never been able to, like, really experience it. And I envy the people who do it so fucking, like, effortlessly. I just, like, don't possess that quality. I have too much anxiety, and I literally just, I can't, I have to just, like, stop acting like I'm not like that, you know? I think the thing that this person and I actually have in common is that we're both really fucking anxious. We're both overwhelmed, you know? And I think that I need to stop acting like I'm not just as scared as they are, you know? I need to stop convincing them that I'm something that I'm not, because I'm trying to be this version of myself that can just talk to somebody so easily and can make this stuff happen so quickly. um and the thing that leads to is, you know, it just leads to a place where, like, it's not natural, you know? And I guess I try so hard to be this person, but I'm not, you know? I'm anxious too. I'm scared too. I don't want to talk either. I don't know what to say either, or, like, and so I think that it's important to just sit here and just sit in it and see what happens, you know? Because, like, I don't know what's going on in their head. I don't know what they're experiencing, and they don't know what I'm experiencing. They don't know what's going on in my head, you know? I may come off like I'm this super fucking confident person and, like, I have all my shit figured out, but I fucking don't. I'm so fucking anxious, and I have horrible anxiety, like, super bad, like, crippling, and I overthink fucking everything, and it sucks, but it just is what it is. And I don't think I should, you know, it comes to a point where, like, yes, like, I'm an anxious person, and, you know, I won't let the anxiety win, and I'll take risks and stuff, but it comes to a point where, like, I am an anxious person, though, and I have to accept that, and I have to, like, stop trying so hard to be, like, this super confident person, because the only thing that's gonna happen is that this person's gonna probably think that I'm this super confident person, I have all my shit together, and, like, you know, they're gonna probably think that, like, I don't like them, because maybe they're gonna think that, oh, you know, they might think, or they might have this perception in my head that, like, I talk to everybody and, like, I'm super confident, and so, like, by me not talking to them, they're gonna think that I don't like them and it's personal, which that's not true. I like them, but I just don't know what to fucking say. Like, I'm just awkward. I'm awkward, and it is what it is, you know? So I think that, like, it shouldn't be forced, you know? I don't need to sit down with them and, like, have a conversation and be like, hey, here's all the shit about me. That should happen in time, you know? That should happen fluidly and naturally, because it's gonna be forced. Because a part of me is like, okay, maybe I should talk to them and I should tell them all of this, but behind that is, okay, I'm going to tell them this, so once I tell them this, then we'll have fluid conversation. But really, if I told them this, it would probably just be still as awkward and still as sparse, you know, still as awkward and still as limited. And you know, it would still be fucking awkward, and I just don't want to experience that. And it's self-created, and I realize that now, but I definitely feel like I should just sit with these feelings and see what happens and not run away, you know, see what happens in this connection, and see what will happen if I just simply sit with this awkwardness and sit in this uncomfortableness of just waiting. Because we're hanging out on Monday, and it's hard waiting, you know, it's hard. A part of me puts all this pressure on myself, and I feel like we have to be best friends by Monday. We have to fucking know each other fucking inside and out by Monday, and that's a lot of pressure to put on myself. But you know, I guess I just want to see if we're compatible. But sometimes the best way to see if you're compatible with somebody is to just hang out with them and to get to know them in person. And sometimes connections build slowly, and you know, this could go a whole lot of ways that we could go and we could hit it off, and this could lead to us hanging out more, and then the more we hang out, the more we'll get to know each other. Or it could just, we could simply hang out and it might not work out, and that's okay. It's not a reflection of either of us. It's not because we're stupid, you know, we're not good people. It's just, we're just not good people for it, you know. We don't have that connection. You can't force it, you know, and that, you know, you can't force yourself to like feel things for people. And so I just have to kind of sit with it. You know, I have to accept the fact that this is just who I am right now. This is where I'm at, and it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to do is just, I'm trying to run away. I'm trying to detach from the waiting, and the waiting is so uncomfortable, you know? It's just, yeah. It's uncomfortable, but it is what it is, you know? Because in the silence, I fear that people are not in silence. I fear that people are not liking me and talking shit about me. And so I think I need like constant reassurance and validation that if we're in constant connection and communication, that means they like me, and that means they do vibe with me. But the truth is that like I like this person, and I'm still not going to be constant conversation with them. We don't need to be, you know. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for us to be talking to each other 24/7 and to be asking about everything on text. First of all, I fucking hate texting. I fucking hate texting people because it's just so fucking awkward, and it's so fucking uncomfortable, and it's unnecessarily fucking uncomfortable for like literally no fucking reason. And so I fucking hate texting people. So I feel like when I text people, there's still water in here. Hold on. It's on tight. Oh my god. Jesus. Literally the drink that I need to motivate me to finish this off. But it tastes like cucumbers, so good. Yeah. What was I talking about? I don't remember. But yeah, I guess I just have to sit in the uncomfortableness, you know, and I have to just be here and be with it instead of forcing it. You know, I don't want to be fake. I don't want to pretend like, I know it's good to be confident and stuff, and to a certain degree, yeah, I'm confident and stuff, but I also really have a lot of anxiety, and I struggle with communication because I have fucking crippling anxiety. And so yeah, I just want to wait till this is at 33. I need it to be like, you